Welcome back to Fast Jet Performance then. My name is Tim Davies, and who's the doctor they told you to go and see? That's right, Dr. FJP, and I am back in session bringing you some medication for the nation as we talk about the failing standards in the United Kingdom. That is absolutely right, guys, because summer is here. And with it, not only does it bring heat, it brings tension and it brings a massive rise in public disorder. Don't resist arrest. This guy's an absolute ninja. We're going to look at what happens when leadership fails in the United Kingdom. It is a disgrace. You know how I feel about it. Then we're going to move on and we're going to look at the failure in diversity and what happens when we force these cultures into an existing culture. And oh goodness me, there's some fantastic films that I want you to see. And what we're going to do then in the second part of the video, just two topics very briefly. We're going to look at how the authorities should be regaining control. I'm going to show you a film of that, and I'm going to end with a great film for you. And I really want you to pay attention to this because it's about what you can do to retain control, because of course this is not about the weather, is it? It's nothing really to do with that. What it is about is absolute chaos and failing standards in the United Kingdom. Guys, let's get after it. Okay, Sadiq Khan, Mayor of London, or as I call him, Sadiq Can't, of course. I think we all understand that one, don't we? I'll play the first 15 seconds, then we're going to leave it.
To every girl and woman who has felt unsafe walking home. To every girl and woman who has been the butt of a sexist joke. To every girl and woman who's been harassed, stalked, silenced.
Now you know me, guys, I'm kind of flippant as a tiger, aren't I? And he put this tweet out: to every girl and woman who's been harassed, stalked, silenced, mentally and physically abused, I am sorry, he says. As a society, we have failed you. As your mayor, I will not stop in my mission to make London safer for you. What I wrote then on that tweet, because Sadiq Khan doesn't allow replies to his tweet. Absolute coward of a man. Absolute coward. There's no Englishman there, by the way. That man has nothing to do with England whatsoever. I put, what are you going to do? Fill it with English white people again? If he's going to make the city safer, it's now 37% white English. How on earth is he going to do that? Unless, of course, he just removes all the minorities, because this is not white Englishmen doing this. We all know that. I can say it on here because it's the truth. We can look at the statistics. We brought statistics up before. This is not. This is what happens when you flood a city with minorities and you don't actually put the correct policing in place. This is what I'm talking about. Diversity is such a strength that it requires constant propaganda to remind us of it and a police state to enforce it. This is the problem. It's not a strength. They've stopped talking about diversity being a strength now because they realise it's a weakness. It's a cancer put in there by these little new Marxists that don't know what they're doing, trying to raise GDP in the country, and all they're doing is destroying it. And before I show this next film then, there's something that James Lindsay used to talk about. He's a commentator, a bit of a right-leaning guy in the States, but he was talking about something called mid-level violence. We've seen it before on this channel. And what mid-level violence really is, and I'll show you the next film in a minute, it's pretty horrific, so stick by me. It's when you get something where it's not actually violence, but it's like the no touching game where someone says, oh, I'm not touching you, not touching you. So you're always a bit on edge. And with society, what happens is we build up this anxiety and then we're more snappy to each other, more easy to flare up, which is why I'm talking about the long, hot summer ahead. I think we're going to see some real difficulties, some real change here, guys. I think it's going to be a real problem for us. And this film here is two police officers that seem to be being attacked by someone. They've got a taser out, but the other guy's got a gun out. He fires in the air. Can you believe that? They're actually standing over something and there's someone trying to get, they're fighting with police. So that guy tries to get in behind him. They're actually fighting. I don't know whether he was shot there or not. This is an horrific film. When police have a firearm out and they're still... Imagine our police. Our police don't have firearms in the United Kingdom. Are we going to start seeing this kind of level of violence towards police? And one of the fears we have, I think, as I'd say British or English, it doesn't really matter how you want to define yourself, is that we've got people in the country, in this particular case, Pakistanis, and we know what happened with the Pakistani Muslim rape gangs to young British girls. Just watch that documentary on Channel 4 if you're under any illusion that it's all being cleared up, because absolutely haven't. This chap here, Anas Sarwar, I believe his name is the leader of the Labour Scottish Party. Just listen to what he says about the intention of this minority group taking over our country.
Pakistanis involving themselves in politics?
Of course. They can change this country. They're a full part of this country. This country is as much theirs as anybody else's. We are proud to be in this country. We're proud of our identity.
So we have minority groups in the country who are looking to take over our politics. We should be worried about that because I've spoken about it before. It needs gripping, and of course it's not being gripped. Now, I'm not here to stoke racial tensions. What I'm here is to caution us that as the majority, this is our country, it's no one else. It's most definitely not Pakistani immigrants' country. I don't care what anyone says. The problem is, though, guys, we've had such an influx of immigration. I think in 2023 there was almost 1 million people coming in. David Cameron, remember, back in 2010, said it should be about 50,000 people coming in, and there is no way you can integrate people on the volume that we're bringing in. It is fundamentally not possible, and that's why we see minority groups rising up now. And I think, to be fair, if we're looking at civil war in the United Kingdom, we've got so many different groups in there, Indian, Pakistanis. It's not even going to be amongst the indigenous population. It's going to be within these groups that have come into the country. And when we talk about the level of just sort of disruption in the UK, this is what I mean. This is I think this course is up north somewhere, I can't remember, but this is e-bikes, scramblers, wrecking a golf course, just driving it, no intention. I mean, there's no reason for this to happen, but it is happening. You think about the work that has to go in to repair this again. Absolutely incredible. And one of the comments actually said, oh no, rich people getting their feelings hurt again. And it's that kind of division we've got to be really careful of, because that sort of thing will divide the country. There is no two ways about it. And I think this all comes down as well to just not being respectful of the police, not being respectful of order. Apparently, Dutch police dogs have been trained to bite trousers and not people, which in this case is a bit of a shame. Don't hit the dog, mate. You're going to go down if you hit the dog. Don't hit the dog. And of course, what a lot of us thinking here, look, why are white countries the only one that needs diversity? I never see diversity being forced into African countries. Does anyone else? Have I missed something here? It always seems to be diversity coming into white countries. And then when that diversity does come into our countries, as we saw in that video by the leader of the Scottish Party, it's not good enough for them. They need to change it back in the image of the country they've just left. It's absolutely astounding to me. Ground News have decided to sponsor this video. They are good people. And when they said, can I sponsor you, Tim? I was like, hell to the yes, because I used their product already. And I said, what's going to be a great deal for me is going to be a great deal for you guys as well. 40% off the Vantage plan, top tier plan. Let's head over there now. So what Ground News does, it brings all these news articles in from across the political spectrum. It looks at the biases on them as well. So if I was to scroll to this article here, which is about the UK economy expanding by 0.5% in February, higher than expected, and I clicked on it, we can see straight away that there's 16 news sources that have reported on it. It is a leaning left. Why? Because we've got a left-wing government, haven't we? So maybe the right aren't reporting on it too much. And you can see there's about 6 in the centre. Now, what you can do then, pretty much, 55% centrist, kind of a centrist article, you can then have a read, have a bit of a summary here if you want to, and then you can go and pick your favourite paper down here anywhere you want, and you can click on that link. It then takes you across to that paper, and if you can see at the very top, you've also got a taskbar on Chrome that also helps you see what is going on. You have a read of it if you want. There you go, to all kinds of different papers. And you can also look at the factuality of it. How factual are these things that are coming out? And also, who owns those papers, right? So you know when you're being kind of like hoodwinked. Ground News is the only way that I get unbiased news. And the offer today is 40% off the Vantage plan. It's a good plan. I use it myself, about £7 a month, guys. Get after it.
What are you running away for? What was that about?
White people are inferior.
White people are inferior?
I did that because I wanted to call the police. You
throw food at my girlfriend who's white because white people are inferior?
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say to you. I don't want to be in handcuffs.
And just like that young girl, it's all fun and games, isn't it, until the police get involved. In many countries, it's actually illegal to fly the Palestinian flag. You couldn't fly that in the UAE.
A few moments later.
Everyone starts crying a river when the police turn up, don't they? The shoplifter just brazenly picking things off his shelf, putting them in the bag. This guy actually, I believe, got 3 months in prison for doing this. And I question myself, would I stop these? I mean, the stores have got insurance, of course. The truth is, if we don't act in these situations, though, and of course the guy may have bottles of wine and things like that, then we just allow it, don't we? We allow it to happen. And of course, it can be a lot worse than it is. I mean, here is a police officer being assaulted. You're right, I'm going to step in on this one. I'm absolutely in there. This guy's using one knee. I'm using both feet if I've got to get involved in this.
Okay, another reason why I love Vegas, I always see the unthinkable, the unexplainable,
the police officer is armed, so when you attack the police officer, full commitment, drag him down, pile on him. I mean, that's assault. That's a jail term in the States there. Well, it should be a jail term in the States, whether it's going to be a jail term or not. Katherine Bing is the head teacher of a Michaela school in North London, in Wembley. I met her once, actually, on the train station, and I said, thank you for what you're doing. Listen to what she says about this sort of mid-level violence, this small kind of insurrection that happens in the classroom.
What do you do when a kid tells you to F off? What do you do when a kid throws a chair? What do you do when a kid gets up out of a lesson and just marches out? And I say that never happens. And then their only explanation is, well, you must have a different set of kids. And I say, no. We get given our kids by the council. We're in the inner city. What they don't understand is we look after the details. Broken windows theory. So for your listeners, what that means is if you have a house in an abandoned area, if you break one window, within a couple of days, all of the windows will be broken. So the idea is you have to care about the little things. You look after the pennies, the pounds take care of themselves. And in this instance, it means the big incidents simply never happen. That's why we need uniforms. So when people come to visit us here at Michaela, our school, other teachers from other schools, they say.
And she's absolutely right, of course. There's another guy lecturing people about the respect you should have when you come into another country.
You don't come in England and raise a Palestinian flag that you can't raise in your own country. Don't do that. That's disrespect. I guarantee no Muslim here go to Dubai and raise a Palestinian flag there. Even in Qatar, you can't do that. You can't do that, my friend. So why do it in Europe? Because of human rights? Because you're allowed to? Those things have to stop. You don't invade anybody's country to take over. Their country is not yours. The democracy is built by the people, of the people, and voted for those people. So you come and you integrate to build a society while you build yourself. That's what the integration is for.
This officer here is being surrounded. He's got to do whatever he can to control the situation. Look, don't resist arrest. This guy's an absolute ninja. Yeah, don't resist arrest. I mean, you don't know. These people, of course, he's facing people there. I mean, they look young to him. You don't want to be a lone officer surrounded by people. And that's what the guy has to control. So now we're seeing like what police are going to have to do over the summer if people are rising up against them. They're going to have to take control. And unfortunately, it's going to get quite violent. So we have an opportunity to not do that. And I'm just going to play a quick film to end now about what I think we should be doing in our own personal areas. Okay, whether this is a skit or not, though, this is the role of a man, I believe, not only in the family, but also in society.
Our little boy's starting reception in September. He has picked his own school bag.
I told him not to get the pink bag.
It's what he wants to have.
I don't care what he wants to have. You should have got the football bag like I told you.
It's his first day of school. It's his choice of backpack.
He's going to get bullied.
He's not going to get bullied. He's 4 years old.
You know how mean 4-year-old people are these days, right? He's going to get bullied. And you know what? You're going to have to deal with it. I told you not to get that bag for him.
He can have whatever he wants. We need to encourage him.
No, he can have the football bag. That's what I'm going to get him. You need to take that back and we'll get the football bag for him.
He's picked this bag. He's going to have this bag. He's his own person.
He's 4 years old. He doesn't know what he wants. He's having the football bag. He's not having the pink bag. I don't care what you say. I don't care what he says. He's not having that bag. All right? And if he gets bullied, it's your fault. I'm not dealing with any of these teachers. You deal with it. All right? I'm bad enough. I'm going.
And I'll leave you with that. There is a role for men in society, and it is to enforce order. And people are going to hate me for saying it, but it's absolutely true. And if you allow this matriarchal, feminized society to maintain and still develop in the way it's developing, painting rainbow crossings on the road, then men are just silently saying, look, we've had enough, mate, we've had enough. Look, these men here just avoiding it. No one's walking on it. We've had enough. Now, you can push it a bit further if you want. You can see what happens, or we can just backpedal a little bit and just come back into a more ordered society. The way I think about it, guys, I think it's a little bit too late. I think it's going to kick off. Now, we'll do some videos in the future about how you can look after yourself. But remember, it's all about you, your community, fitness, family, finance, and fuel. Add a bit of faith in there, faith in you, faith in the people around you as well, and you're going to be all right. Have a check of that Ground News offer. It just keeps the channel going, because I was going to drop the channel about a month ago, guys. You know, they don't like channels like mine. So it's great to have a sponsor. Ground News is good for you. It keeps that news unbiased. Stay safe out there. Tim Davies, Fast Ship Performance.